penned these words. He observed, "Men are always more easily caught by the appearance of things than by the reality. True power often hides in plain sight." Niccolò Machiavelli. Chapter 1. The Invisible Weight. Invisible weight. The most potent force is rarely seen. It is a quiet dread, a looming silence. Guard this power, for it is your truest advantage. They tell you to be seen, to be heard, to make your presence known. This is a lie. 2,000 years ago, Cesare Borgia understood what most still refuse to see. True power is not an announcement. It is an invisible weight that settles over a room before you even speak. You chase validation, you seek approval. You broadcast your intentions, hoping for recognition. This is the surest way to leak your energy, your focus, your very command, until you are nothing more than a hollow echo. Right now, your strength is draining away, not from direct attack, but from the constant, subtle demand for external acknowledgement. Every gesture, every explained decision, every attempt to manage their perception of you becomes a hole in your personal reservoir. You are bleeding power, not in gushes, but in 1,000 tiny drops, each one a concession to the noise of the world, leaving you depleted and easily swayed. Think about the men and women who truly hold authority. They are not the loudest. They do not need to remind you of their position. Their presence alone shifts the atmosphere. A quiet, heavy stillness precedes them. This is the silent posture, the unyielding weight that commands respect without uttering a single demand. It is the understanding that your value is not open for debate. The problem is your addiction to the external. You crave their gaze, you feed on their opinions, you act as if your worth is determined by the reaction you provoke in others. This makes you predictable, a marionette whose strings are pulled by the whims of every observer. They can manipulate you with a glance, an insult, a moment of fleeting praise, because they know you are performing for them. This hunger for external validation destroys your internal resolve. It makes you weak, where you should be unbreakable. It forces you to react, to explain, to justify, turning every interaction into a defensive struggle for acceptance. Your energy scatters, your focus blurs. You lose the sharp, precise edge required to cut through the noise and achieve what truly matters. Here's how you cultivate this invisible weight. You learn to move in silence. You execute without fanfare. You build your empire brick by brick, not with pronouncements but with undeniable results that speak for themselves. Your actions become your only argument, and your silence becomes your impenetrable shield against triviality and doubt. Watch what happens when you cease to explain yourself, when you stop chasing agreement, when you simply are. The world pauses, they lean in. Their curiosity intensifies, not because you demanded it, but because you withdrew the constant stream of information they expected. You become a mystery, an unreadable force, and the unknown always carries more power than the obvious. This quiet strength forces people to project their own expectations and fears onto you. They will try to decipher you, to understand your motives, because you give them nothing concrete to grasp. You become a blank canvas upon which they paint their assumptions, and their assumptions are often far grander, far more formidable than any self-promotion you could ever attempt. Contrast this with the constant need to justify. If you announce your plans, people will find flaws, offer unsolicited advice, and unconsciously root for your failure, if only to feel superior. But if you quietly execute your vision, there's nothing to criticize, nothing to undermine, until your success is already a concrete reality that cannot be argued away. The silent posture is not about arrogance. It is about self-possession. It is the radical act of reclaiming your energy from the insatiable demands of external perception. It means closing the holes in your bucket, sealing the leaks, and allowing your internal power to compound undisturbed by the draining give and take of social performance. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, understood that the true battlefield was within. He wrote that the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. What he understood is that needing nothing from the external world made you invincible to its whims. Your power grows not from what you project, but from what you refuse to compromise. This is why the truly powerful do not engage in petty debates. They do not waste breath defending their position. They simply continue to build, to move, to dominate, while others are still bickering in the dust. Their silence is not an absence of thought, but a distillation of focus, a signal that their attention is far too valuable to be squandered on trivialities. The moment you become comfortable with being misunderstood, with being judged without explanation, you unlock a new level of freedom. Their opinions become background noise, their expectations lose their grip. You are no longer performing for an audience. You are simply existing, powerfully, on your own terms. This alone is a silent act of rebellion. This silent posture also filters out the weak, those who crave drama, who thrive on gossip, who need constant validation, will eventually recoil from your unyielding calm. They will seek out someone else to project their insecurities onto, leaving you surrounded only by those who respect strength, not those who demand constant performance. They will try to bait you. They will try to provoke a reaction. They will push your boundaries, testing your composure, trying to find the crack in your armor. But when met with quiet resolve, with an unreadable gaze, their attacks lose their force. They are met with a wall, not an echo chamber, and their efforts fall flat. Remember, the goal is not to be liked, it is to be respected. Liking is fleeting, based on mood and convenience. Respect is earned, a recognition of your inherent strength and unyielding will. It is the understanding that you are a force to be reckoned with, not a friend to be humored. The invisible weight means you do not need to shout your worth. You do not need to posture. Your worth is simply evident in the way you carry yourself, in the deliberate calm of your movements, in the unwavering focus of your eyes. It is the unshakable certainty that you know who you are, and you do not require anyone else's permission to be it. This posture is built brick by brick through small, deliberate acts of self-control. It starts with holding your tongue when you want to explain. It continues by ignoring the urge to boast. It solidifies when you choose to act rather than to announce, allowing your results to become your only spokesperson. Every time you choose silence over noise, action over explanation, you add another layer to your invisible weight. You teach people how to treat you, not with words, but with an undeniable presence that says, "My value is not up for discussion." They will feel it, they will recognize it, they will defer to it. But there is another trap, one that seems harmless, even beneficial. It's the subtle art of the emotional leech, disguised as a friend, a confidant, or a loved one. What is it? Chapter 2, The Scarce Word. The scarce word, a fatal error, is vulnerability. You offer them tools to dismantle you, believing it builds bridges. Instead, you build your own cage. It is the information leak. This leak is not a sudden gash, but a slow, insidious drip. Each shared detail, every vulnerable confession, becomes a drop of your power seeping away. You believe you are building connection, fostering genuine trust. You convince yourself that by laying bare your soul, you invite empathy and understanding from others. This is a profound and dangerous miscalculation. What you're actually doing is giving away your strategic advantage. You are draining your reservoir of mystique, making yourself utterly predictable. You are making yourself smaller in their eyes, less formidable. Every time you overshare, you diminish your perceived value and open yourself to judgment, not the understanding you crave. The emotional leech thrives on this output. They want your inner landscape. They want to know your plans, your fears, your deepest aspirations, not to help you, but to categorize you. They seek to understand your psychological levers. Every intimate detail you give them is a brick they can use to build a mental cage around you, or worse, a weapon to disarm you when you least expect it. Think about the office gossip, the family busybody, or even the well-meaning but meddling friend. They ask pointed questions, they listen intently, they smile and nod as you pour out your heart, your ambitious new project, your internal doubts. You walk away feeling lighter, believing you've offloaded a burden. But the burden isn't gone. It's simply been transferred, and now it carries a price. The moment those words leave your mouth, they are no longer yours alone. They become fodder for their discussions, for their doubts, for their unsolicited advice. Your carefully guarded intentions are now public domain. People will dissect your plans. They will offer their limited perspectives, their fears, their projections onto your goals, and subconsciously, they will begin to see you as less capable because you needed to externalize your internal process. You lose the critical element of surprise. You forfeit the advantage of quiet, undeniable execution. Here's how you seal the information leak. You master the scarce word. This isn't about outright deceit, it's about strategic economy. Speak only when absolutely necessary, and when you do, speak with precision, brevity, and an almost clinical detachment. Cultivate an air of deliberate, impenetrable reserve. Let your actions always precede your announcements. This is non-negotiable. When asked about your next big move, your personal struggles, your future plans, offer vague generalities. State simply that you are working on things or exploring options without elaborating on the details. Your silence, your refusal to offer specifics, becomes a powerful statement in itself. It forces others to project their own ideas of your capability onto you. They will fill the vacuum of information with their own assumptions, often assuming you are more competent, more decisive, more in control than if you had explained every minute detail. Your inscrutability elevates your standing. Consider the stark contrast between the loudmouth who broadcasts every thought, every aspiration, every minor setback, and the quiet operator who reveals nothing until the victory is already secured. The loudmouth invites premature criticism. Their energy is dispersed in talk, often failing to launch, because they've drained their resolve in chatter. The quiet operator, however, builds momentum in stealth. They gather resources, overcome obstacles, and execute in the shadows. Then and only then do they present a finished product, an undeniable fact that commands respect and leaves no room for debate or doubt. Their success becomes a statement that cannot be argued against. Cardinal Richelieu, a master of political manipulation and the architect of French power, famously advised, "Secrecy is the first thing that ought to be taught a prince." What he understood is that a leader who reveals all their cards, all their intentions, becomes a predictable puppet. They lose their ability to surprise, to maneuver, to control the narrative. To maintain command, you must keep your counsel. You must allow others to wonder, to speculate, even to fear the unknown depths of your strategy. Your deliberate silence becomes a potent psychological weapon, creating space for awe and deference, compelling others to grant you an authority you didn't need to ask for. The less you speak about yourself, about your future, about your struggles, the more weight your words carry when you finally choose to utter them. The less you reveal about your inner world, the more intriguing you become to those around you. This scarcity of personal information creates an undeniable demand. Others will strive harder to understand you, to gain your favor, to earn your trust. This elevates your presence from a common commodity, a person readily understood and dismissed, to a rare, valuable resource. You force them to invest their attention, their curiosity, their mental energy into you. Sun Tzu, in his timeless treatise, The Art of War, taught that the highest form of generalship is to thwart the enemy's plans before they are even aware of your true intentions. He spoke extensively of the power of deception, of appearing weak when strong, of keeping your forces veiled and your movements unknown. What Sun Tzu understood is that when your movements are unknown, your thoughts unread, you become an unpredictable, formidable force. This principle applies not just to armies on a battlefield, but to every interaction where influence and personal power are at stake. The individual whose next move is a mystery holds an inherent strategic advantage. Do not mistake this strategic omission for outright dishonesty or malice. It is a refusal to waste precious energy. It is a refusal to explain yourself to those who have not earned the right to the full picture, or who would simply use that information against you. It is about understanding that your thoughts and plans are valuable resources, not casual conversation starters. Guard them fiercely. Let your results speak for themselves, not your premature declarations or your emotional confessions. Build your empire in silence. Let the world only see the finished edifice, not the sweat and struggle of its construction. Every time you choose to hold your tongue, to keep your intentions hidden, you are building an impenetrable wall around your ambition, your peace, your control. You deny others the opportunity to chip away at your resolve, to inject their doubts, to prematurely judge your process. You become a fortress, unassailable because your vulnerabilities remain unseen, your true strategy unreadable. But there is another hidden cost, one that runs even deeper than mere words or visible actions. It's the unconscious signals you broadcast, the subtle tells that betray your true emotional state, even when you believe you are perfectly composed. What are they? Chapter 3, The Unshakable Core. Hidden tells. Your body betrays your mind. These tiny leaks of truth cost you power, revealing all to your adversaries. Learn to control them. Your unconscious signals are a betrayer. They are the micro-expressions that flash across your face, the slight tremor in your voice, the subtle shift in your posture when pressure mounts. These are not grand gestures. They are almost invisible tells. Yet to the trained eye, they scream your vulnerabilities. You believe you are holding firm, but your body, your subconscious, is leaking crucial information. This emotional leakage costs you dearly. It gives your opponents, your competitors, even your casual acquaintances, an open window into your inner state. They see your doubt, your irritation, your hidden fear, and they instantly gain a subtle, unspoken advantage. They learn how to push your buttons, how to unsettle you because you have unwittingly provided them with the blueprint to your weaknesses. Think about a high-stakes negotiation or a tense confrontation. The other person isn't just listening to your words. They are watching your eyes, your hands, the tension in your jaw. If they detect even a flicker of anxiety, a hint of desperation, they will exploit it. They will press harder, knowing they have found a crack in your armor. Your outward composure means nothing if your internal state is broadcasting panic. Here's how you shut down this invisible drain. Cultivate an impassive demeanor, an outer shell of unyielding calm. Your goal is not to suppress emotion, but to control its outward manifestation with an iron will. Practice stillness in your body, an unblinking gaze, a voice that maintains an even, measured tone regardless of the chaos around you. Your face becomes a mask, revealing nothing. The amateur lets their reactions dictate their actions. They flinch, they glare, they interrupt, believing they are asserting dominance when in truth, they are merely revealing their lack of control. But you, the one who understands true power, you become a stone. When they provoke, you remain expressionless. When they attack, you meet it with silence. This is the posture of absolute power, one demonstrated by figures like Louis XIV, the Sun King, who famously declared, chez moi, understood that his person was inseparable from the state itself. What he understood is that a monarch, to truly command, must embody unwavering strength and control, presenting an unshakable front to his court and his enemies alike, never allowing personal emotion to betray the absolute authority he wielded. He was an immovable center, absorbing all, revealing nothing. But the impassive exterior is only half the battle. Many can fake composure for a short while, but true strength comes from an unshakable core, from an inner quiet that cannot be disturbed. The real leak, the true betrayer, is the internal turbulence that rages beneath your calm facade. This inner chaos, even if perfectly hidden, drains your energy and blurs your judgment. When you are internally reactive, fuming, fearing, or fretting, you are operating from a place of weakness. Your decision-making becomes clouded, your focus fractured. You might appear calm, but inside you are fighting a desperate battle, and that internal war will eventually manifest as fatigue, poor choices, or an inability to adapt. The strategy then becomes not just about hiding your reactions, but about eliminating them at the source. You must cultivate radical detachment from outcomes. See your emotions as transient data points, not commands. Let the anger, the fear, the doubt pass through you without clinging to them, without letting them take root and dictate your state. Your mind becomes a still lake, reflecting reality without distortion. Most people allow their feelings to hijack their inner world, then expend immense effort trying to project an image of control. They are fighting a losing battle, attempting to patch holes in a sinking ship. But you rebuild the ship from its foundations, creating an inner vessel that is inherently resilient, inherently calm. You deny internal chaos the power to sway you. This is the essence of warrior philosophy, a principle lived by men like Miyamoto Musashi. He understood that true mastery required a mind unburdened by distraction or emotional turmoil, ready to act decisively. What he understood is that do nothing which is not useful. Every thought, every feeling must serve your objective, and any internal reaction that dissipates your energy or clouds your perception is a useless indulgence to be purged. When your inner world is disciplined, when your external posture is unyielding, you become a force that cannot be read, cannot be rattled. This is not about being emotionless. It is about absolute emotional sovereignty. You are neither happy nor sad on their terms. You are simply present, observing, and acting with precision. Chapter 4. Observers, Dominance. Silence, your greatest weapon. They crave your voice, your insights. Resist. For in this next lesson, we learn the art of strategic withholding, the power of unseen influence. The next battlefield is the one you create, through unnecessary sound, through premature revelation. You think your words are building bridges, forging connections, when in reality, they are carving holes in your armor, draining your offensive power. Every explanation you offer, every detail you volunteer, every opinion you broadcast before it is strategically necessary, is a concession. You hand them data, blueprints to your mind, and they will use it to dissect you. This is the trap of the talker, the one who mistakes noise for influence. They believe that by filling the silence, by offering explanations, they gain understanding or control. They forget that the person who speaks first, who speaks most, is almost always the one giving away the most. Their eagerness to be understood is their greatest liability. It leaks their desires, their fears, their unconfirmed plans, turning their inner world into public domain. Watch what happens when someone walks into a room, immediately asserting their presence with a cascade of words. They describe their journey, their intentions, their feelings about the situation. They seek to manage perceptions by preempting questions. What they actually do is expose their anxiety, their need for validation, their entire strategic position. They become a book open to the first page, available for anyone to read and exploit. Here's how you shut down this leak and seize true dominance. Cultivate the power of the observer. Your primary mode of operation in any new environment, any new interaction, is silence. You are not there to contribute noise. You are there to collect intelligence. Listen more than you speak. Absorb every nuance, every unspoken tension, every subtle power play unfolding around you. Let others fill the void, and in their eagerness, they will reveal everything you need to know. When they speak, they project their weaknesses, their ambitions, their insecurities. When you remain silent, you become an unreadable wall. You are a blank canvas upon which they project their own fears and desires. They cannot attack what they do not understand, and they cannot understand you if you offer no information. Your silence forces them to guess, to assume, to reveal their own thought process in their attempts to decipher you. This is not passive withdrawal. This is active surveillance. You are not waiting for permission. You are gathering the coordinates for your next strike. You are mapping the terrain, identifying the enemy's strongholds and their supply lines, all while giving them nothing to map in return. This allows you to maintain an offensive position, always ready to act with informed precision, while they are still trying to figure out your intentions. Consider the meticulous mind of Leonardo da Vinci. He did not rush to paint. He observed the flight of birds, the flow of water, the anatomy of man, filling countless notebooks with silent study before a single brushstroke was made. He understood that true mastery comes from deep, unhurried absorption of reality before any attempt to shape it. His silence was not empty. It was pregnant with understanding, a vast reservoir of collected data, ready to manifest into genius. The fool announces their next project, their next big move, their grand ambition to anyone who will listen. They seek applause before the work is done, validation before the victory is secured. They want to control the story, but what they actually do is invite sabotage, envy, and premature judgment. They give their opponents time to prepare, time to counter, time to undermine their efforts before they even begin. But if you move in silence, if you execute your plans without broadcasting your intentions, there is nothing for them to attack. There is no public statement to retract, no grand announcement to fall short of. Your actions become your only statements. And by the time they realize what you are building, it is already too late for them to stop you. The accomplished fact is a fortress that cannot be easily breached. Julius Caesar understood this deeply. He did not telegraph his every strategic decision across the Roman world. When he famously crossed the Rubicon, he did not send messengers ahead to explain his reasoning or debate his intentions with the Senate. He observed the political landscape, he weighed his options, and then he acted. The crossing itself was the message, a silent, irreversible declaration of power that left his enemies scrambling, reacting to an event already in motion rather than anticipating one. What he understood is that true power manifests through decisive, unannounced action, not through preemptive explanations or justifications. Your words are energy. Your silence is a battery. Every time you speak without purpose, you drain your power. Every time you choose to observe, to listen, to collect without revealing, you charge that battery. You become a well of unspoken potential, a force held in reserve, waiting for the perfect moment to unleash its full, devastating impact. This silent accumulation of power is what truly commands respect, for it signals not weakness, but a dangerous, unreadable strength. But there is another, more insidious drain on your mental fortress, one that promises connection, but delivers only emotional debt and strategic vulnerability. What is it? Chapter 5, Your Silent Reign. Silent reign. They don't need to attack you directly. They just need to know you. To control you, they must understand your every weakness, your every aspiration. The insidious drain they exploit is your hunger for validation. It is your desire to be understood, to share your inner world, to connect. They will tell you this is empathy, a fundamental human need, a pathway to true bond. But for those who seek to disarm you, to control you, it is simply a weakness to probe. Every time you speak a deep fear, reveal a secret ambition, or confess a past struggle, you offer them a blueprint of your vulnerabilities, a detailed map to your emotional triggers. You give them the keys to your internal fortress. They don't need to attack you directly. They just need to watch you bleed your own power. You convince yourself you're building bridges, forging alliances, but in reality, you are digging trenches, exposing your most vital flanks. They gather intel on your hopes, your private fears, your unspoken past failures. These are not shared experiences. They are pieces of information, turned into future levers, ready to be deployed against your will. This isn't connection, it's a slow, strategic bleed that hollows you out from the inside. Think about the times you confided in someone, seeking comfort or understanding. You revealed a deep insecurity, a past trauma, a secret ambition. Watch what happens when that information, even innocently, gets used later, subtly twisted, or simply remembered as proof of your limitations. Your candor becomes their ammunition. Here's how you eliminate this drain. Seal your inner sanctum. Develop an impenetrable core, a personal vault where your true intentions and vulnerabilities reside, unseen, unheard. Let them talk, let them speculate, let them project their own fears and desires onto your blank slate. You are a mirror, reflecting nothing back but what serves your immediate purpose. If you announce your struggles, people will offer pity, advice, or worse, file away your weaknesses for a later date. They will see you as a project or a pawn. But if you quietly overcome, if you face your demons in solitude, there's nothing for them to exploit, nothing to pity. There is only a growing silent strength they cannot comprehend. Queen Elizabeth, I understood this deeply. For decades, she masterfully navigated treacherous political waters, never fully revealing her hand, never succumbing to the pressure to marry, and thus surrender her ultimate authority. She once stated, "I will use my own discretion and will rule my own actions." What she understood is that the true seat of power isn't in pronouncements or public displays of authority, but in the internal fortress of your own will. When you control your reactions, your disclosures, your very posture, you become an enigma. People will project their fears and desires onto you, making you far more formidable than any announced strength could ever be. They will fill your silence with their own interpretations, and those interpretations will often be more grand, more threatening than the truth. This leads to the next lethal leak, the need to justify. You are addicted to explaining yourself, to providing reasons for your choices, your absences, your victories, even your failures. You believe that if they understand, they will approve, they will respect. This is a fatal flaw. Every time you explain yourself, you move from an offensive to a defensive position. The moment they know you need their understanding, they have leverage. Your explanations give them a map to your weaknesses, a reason to doubt your resolve. They see the seams in your armor, the gaps in your logic. Watch what happens when you try to explain a decision to a subordinate who questions you. You articulate your logic, you present the evidence, you lay bare the intellectual process. What you have actually done is expose the foundation of your authority, making it appear as if it rests on their approval. Your power becomes conditional, subject to their interpretation. Think about a CEO who constantly holds town halls to explain every single strategic shift, seeking consensus. They aren't leading, they are campaigning for acceptance, eroding their own decisiveness. Here's how you seal this leak. Speak only when necessary, and then speak with absolute finality. Your actions are their own explanation. Your silence is your shield, thick and unyielding. When questioned, offer a brief, unyielding statement, or simply meet their gaze with an impassive stare. Let them search your eyes for answers you will not give. Let their discomfort grow in the void of your non-response, in the face of your unshakable certainty. This isn't about being rude. It's about drawing a line in the sand that declares your authority is absolute, not open for debate or explanation. Your word is law, not a suggestion to be weighed. If you announce your reasoning, people will dissect it, find flaws, and attempt to undermine you by challenging your logic. They will feel empowered to question your next move, to poke holes in your future plans. But if you quietly execute, if you let the results speak for themselves, there's nothing to argue against, nothing to debate. There is only the undeniable fact of your accomplishment and the chilling realization that you operate beyond their comprehension, beyond their petty criticisms. This is how you cultivate an aura of untouchable authority, an invisible crown. The master strategist understood this fundamental truth about power and perception. He wrote that a prince ought to avoid being hated. One way to avoid hatred, and equally contempt, is to remain inscrutable, to act decisively without needing to explain the intricate workings of your mind. What he understood is that clarity breeds familiarity, and familiarity breeds contempt. Mystery, on the other hand, breeds both fear and respect. When they don't know your next move, when they can't predict your reasoning, you become a force to be reckoned with. Consider the general who, before a pivotal battle, reveals every aspect of his strategy to his junior officers. He might seek their buy-in, their understanding, hoping to foster morale. But in doing so, he opens his plan to scrutiny, to doubt, to whispered second gusses that can spread through the ranks like a disease. His authority is diluted, his vision questioned before a single shot is fired. Now imagine a commander who simply issues orders, sharp and unequivocal, his reasons veiled behind an impenetrable silence. His officers will follow, not because they understand, but because they believe he understands and his command is absolute. The psychological burden of understanding falls on them, not on you. They are forced to trust your judgment implicitly. This unspoken challenge, this expectation that they must keep up with your silent logic, places you in an unassailable position. Their minds will churn, trying to decipher your intent, to anticipate your next move, to understand the deeper game you are playing. This constant mental effort directed towards you solidifies your central position, your power. They are constantly reacting to your non-action, to your stillness, to the powerful vacuum of your unspoken thoughts. This is not passive. This is an active, psychological projection of your will onto their minds, forcing them to engage with your power on your terms. Think of the ruthless negotiator who allows a heavy, uncomfortable silence to hang in the air after making a demand. The other party, desperate to fill the void, often rushes to speak, revealing hidden weaknesses, offering premature concessions, or spilling information they might otherwise have held back. Your silence becomes a sophisticated weapon, a vacuum that pulls information and deference from those around you. It is the ultimate display of self-possession, of a mind so certain in its course that it requires no external validation, no explanation to lesser minds. You don't perform for them, they perform for you, dancing to the rhythm of your unspoken expectations. But there's another subtle trap, a drain on your invisible power. One that festers in plain sight, disguised as progress. What is it?